everybody, and welcome back to the I Don't Know Running podcast, where we share our experiences that make running fun and sometimes not so fun. I'm Lewis, and I'm a self-admitted lazy ultra runner.
Lazy? When's the last time you ran?
It's been a minute.
Okay.
It's been a minute.
Well, I'm Mitch. I was thinking that we could change our podcast to, I don't know, the guy that runs and the guy that
doesn't run.
that's gonna run soon.
Well, yeah, I know. It's a broken record.
It is, and I can't not have fun with it, right?
I know.
Or the bearded podcast. I don't know.
It could be. How long is Tammy gonna let you have a beard?
Oh man, she is starting to pour it on now at this point. Like
She
this
does
morning.
not want it.
This morning she was like, like last night at dinner too. She was trying to get Clint on her side too. So they were talking amongst themselves, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I spilled some soup in my beard or something. And she's like, that is so gross.
Well, there could be grosser things. I don't know. It's something that, obviously I've had a beard before, and a very long one. And it's just something that it's part of having a beard. If you're going to get stuff in it.
She's like, you don't have to.
Don't have to have it. That's for sure. I know what's annoying for me is when I've had like a plate in front of me and I'm like leaning over to eat and the beard actually gets in the food. That's when it's kind of annoying and a problem.
She's going to find that kind of gross, I think.
Oh, yeah. It's not going to help it. It help matters.
It's not helping my cause. No. I've always cut it before because she complains so much, and she's been determined to not say anything. And this time, it's gotten to the point she cannot help herself. So,
well, we could change it to the two bearded. Well, we could keep runners in it. I'll eventually run.
Right.
The two bearded podcast guys, and then she can't say anything. You got to have a beard.
Right. That's a good thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, we changed the name, so I'm committed.
You got to keep it.
As it warms up, I didn't shave it over the winter because it's so cold out, and I didn't want that shock on my face. Now it's starting to warm up, and I'm like, I don't know. We'll see what's...
The thing is, I've ran with mine through the summer, and it's not that big of a deal. Like, I don't notice it.
Oh, good. You're encouraging me. She'll appreciate that.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. And it's the thing is, you'll start to obviously clean up the sides a little bit, and I can't say it's any worse running with a beard than without. The thing that got annoying for me is the pack that I would wear.
It'd get caught in it?
It would get caught in it. That's annoying.
Or hurt.
That's what I'm saying. It would hurt. It'd pull a hair out or something. You're like, what the? And every time I'd put one in, I would do this, and I would dip my head down because I have the orange mud, and I would dip my head down, and that little bit of a dip would cause it to get caught in the snap or the clip. And then almost every time I would get a drink and do that, I would pull a hair.
It hurt.
It would be annoying.
Well, and I notice a lot of ultra runners have beards. So,
yeah, just not necessarily super long ones like what I had for a while. But yeah, but that's not what this episode is about. It's not
about your ugly race shirt either, because that's what I wanted
No.
to, like, that's amazing.
Well, when this podcast comes out, Glass City, which is what we're wearing, and for those that are watching, you will get a nice view of our amazing.
Yeah, we did this on purpose.
Amazing is a word to describe them.
I have the same race shirt, and I think I left it in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I couldn't, like our camper, because I always keep a couple. I have so many race shirts. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I could wear one every day for who knows how long. And
yeah.
But I dug this one out because it's Glass City. You think this one's not that ugly, but I think that one, the color on the back, like it's black and red. I think it makes it.
Black and red goes together.
But it's just so obnoxious.
It is a little obnoxious, but that is an amazing race shirt for Glass City.
Right.
I mean, Glass City is a great race. We're not saying it's not a great race. I think
Right.
it's a wonderful race.
But
man, I just don't know. Their race shirts.
We were laughing about that shirt. Like, it is obnoxious. Like
I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody that ran it this year and said, man, that's an awesome race shirt.
I wear it on runs once in a while.
The thing that everybody says usually is, I'm going to wear this to be obnoxious. Anybody will know it's me.
You know, I've gone to a party where it was like, wear your ugliest race shirt before.
Yeah, like ugly, what is it? Like the ugly Christmas sweater.
Right, but wear an ugly race shirt because there's a lot of them out there. I mean, Glass City, I almost grabbed the one from Carmel that I have. I have an ugly one from Carmel too. It's all different colors too, and it's just not very attractive.
I think there's one other one that I have. I don't remember the race, but it's not as bad as this one, or we couldn't find last year's. Maybe last year's was that bad.
I don't know. I can't remember what the shirt looks like from last year. I'll have to look it up.
But anyway, I know I have one other one. I might not have it anymore because it was that bad. Got rid of it. But yeah, Glass City is, I don't know. There's not a lot of people that come away going, this is an awesome race shirt. I can't wait to wear it.
I think that the races, they want to get their name out there. So they want it to be big and bright. And they want, like you're hoping you're wearing another race and it helps advertise the race. But my favorite ones are just a small little insignia.
Charlevoix.
Yeah.
Charlevoix is a great one.
Yeah, but Charlevoix had that one that you gave to my wife because it was the color.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the color, but that one I could go either way. That's true. That one year wasn't great.
It was a cool long sleeve.
Well, and they've actually had the different material.
Yeah.
Which is nice because these tech type shirts are annoying anymore. Like,
yeah, everybody gets the cheapest thing that they can get now, and it's
but if you could get that soft cotton, I don't know what it's called, but like
you did Javelina, that shirt is amazing. The
I can't
because it's not even like, because their race company puts out nice
really
shirts.
good gear. Yeah,
because I did Black Canyon and I love that shirt. Like I can wear it and it doesn't chafe. It's a awesome shirt. But they're expensive.
And they're comfortable to wear just lounging.
Right.
In the summer, throw that on. Love it.
Yep.
Yeah. But that is, again, that's not necessarily what we're talking about. We did wear these shirts specifically because it is the day that Glass City. Mitch will actually be running as we speak, not as we speak. As people are listening to this,
I'll be pacing that race.
Or when this releases, I should say, you'll actually be pacing that race.
And you're supposed to be, but you're kind of a slacker.
Yeah, taking this year off. I shouldn't say taking this year off. I am taking everything off the race schedule this year. Pacing, race, no matter what. If I'm going to do it, I'm just going to sign up and do it. I'm not going to have like this, I got to make sure I'm ready for this and this and this and this. No, all that's off.
And I get it a little bit. I've been teasing you about it, but this year has been rough for me because I got injured again. And then I went out and I thought, it's 2 weeks out and I got to pace Glass City. And it's a slower pace. So I'm usually run. So it makes it long and grueling and you have to be consistent. So I'm like, okay, I need some big miles today. And I went out and I made myself do 14. And I'm like, I should be doing a 20 miler. I just don't feel like it.
That's the thing about having a race on the schedule like that.
Yeah. And I have a bunch of them coming up. I mean, kind of what we started talking about.
Yeah, four in the next
quick
6 weeks.
I'm running Glass City, and then I'm running Riverbank, and I'm going to do my Team Triumph, which will be fun.
Well, you have 5 then.
Then I'm running Armed Services, and then I'm pacing Bayshore.
And then Charlevoix.
And then I'm pacing Charlevoix, and then I'm going out to Missoula and running Missoula.
When is Missoula?
It's the week after Charlevoix.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you have a lot.
So I have a lot coming up. But that brought you started looking at, like, how many races are in the Midwest?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So it is race season. That's kind of what we want to talk about on this episode is, it's race season. And if you want to get out and run a race, if you're trained, even if you're not, and you're like, no, I still want to run a race, there's 5Ks and 10Ks everywhere. Yeah. Like you almost can't find you. I bet you can't find a weekend that you cannot, or a week, I should say, because 5Ks can be run during the week too, which is kind of cool. Like Zealand does theirs. They have a Zealand Zoom, I think a spring and a fall, and they do it during the week. I think it's on like a Wednesday or Thursday or something, which is kind of cool. Go out and knock out a 5K.
Yeah, which you're gonna usually run anyway. So why not?
Yeah,
run with friends.
So we just wanted to talk about some of the races, just specifically here in the Midwest, because there are, as we looked, at least 70. Was it 71? Something like between 70 and 80 marathon distance races between now and the end of June.
That's just crazy.
That's insane.
But because it didn't used to be like that. You used to have to travel.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because everybody out west was, if you were a marathon maniac and you lived out west or California area, you didn't even have to leave the state, and you could be a 10-star maniac
in no time
in a year. Because there's that many races out there. And the Midwest is doing it now. I mean,
yeah,
right
because we said, well, let's look at out west, which is like, I don't remember the states, but it's basically counts Alaska and Hawaii, and then all the western coast
and
states.
Alaska and Hawaii don't have that many races.
No, they don't. But yeah, the Midwest has 70 plus just between now and the end of June marathon distance races, which a lot of those marathon distance races have half marathon. They have a 5K, a 10K sometimes. But a lot of them, like the one that we were talking about as Rowdy comes and joins us on the podcast, Flint Hills has a 50-miler on April 15th. Now, that's not our Flint in Michigan, but it's in Kansas City, or Kansas. And we're like, holy cow, there are so many races, and as I'm kind of just quickly looking here, a ton of these have a 5K, 10K, and a half included. Now, most marathons have a half included. Typically, they're specifically going to have.
I did a 50K in Kansas. That was my Kansas race, and yeah, that's definitely flat.
Yeah, right. Hang on one second, Rowdy. So where were we before I kicked out Rowdy because he was threatening to
take everything down,
take down a camera, and I didn't want that.
No, talking about the race in Kansas, and then my experience at Kansas. Like we went out there, I went there with Ashley and Brian, and I did the baby race. That was the shortest race of that race,
which was a marathon.
It was a 50K.
Oh,
and they both did the 100-miler, but completely flat and cold and windy. And yeah, that was my experience at Kansas.
Is that the one that Brian did not like that?
I don't think so, because Ashley was third overall and he was 10 hours behind her. So he froze overnight.
He was not a fan of that race. Not necessarily the race, just it
got so cold.
Race that day. Yeah.
He got so cold overnight. I met him in the morning to see how he was doing, and he couldn't even hardly talk. He was so cold.
Yeah, I think he got that way once at Tunnel Hill too, didn't he?
Yeah,
it got pretty cold at Tunnel Hill.
That's what freaked me out about running out there. Is I was like, I had layers and layers in my drop bags because I didn't want to be cold like he was cold.
Yeah, it is. That does speak to the 100-mile distance. Or any any overnight ultra distance. So some 100Ks, typically you're not going to be overnight on any 50-mile or 50K. But 100K or 100-mile, you proper prior preparation is
for sure
key. You have to have layer upon layer to either shed or put on to get you through potential. Yeah, I mean, you can say, well, the weather's set for this. Well, I remember, matter of fact, I think we've talked about this too. One year we went to Boston. Nicole and I, when we were here in Michigan, we're like, oh, yeah, it's supposed to be, I don't know, like 60, 65 or something like that.
Perfect running weather.
Wonderful running weather. Granted, if you want to go fast, maybe a little bit, you'd like it a little cooler.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be nice. It was supposed to be beautiful. Fly out there. And like the weather just changed, and all of a sudden it was going to be low 50s, probably upper 40s. I would wager, because we were in a scramble to find some gloves that we didn't take anything like that.
Right.
And so, yeah, you can look at the weather forecast all you want, but there's a potential that it can change on you.
I typically overpack. I'll put in some arm warmers and some gloves no matter what. And I hate that because then stuff you never use. But if you need it, you have it.
Yeah, exactly. And same here. I'm an overpacker as well. I would rather have gear that I never touch than to need something and not have it.
Most of the time when I go in on vacation too, it's like I bring this big old suitcase and there's like I wear the same sweatshirt every day.
Yeah.
Because I just don't care.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, it's race season. So we wanted to just talk about like getting out there, getting in a race. There are no shortage of races, whether you want to stay local. And we thought, well, let's check out west. And so when you look out west, there's like near 90 I think there was over 90 marathon distance. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you put in 5K, I don't even know what the number would be, but it would be, I mean, in the probably 200.
And you
range.
use that running in the USA site. I like that because it does, you can put it in by region or by state and it just shows the dates.
Yeah. I mean, you can literally pull up a map and you could zoom in, zoom out to that map, or you can say, I want to look for upcoming all dates, specify a date, specify a month.
And you can click on location and then it gives you a map and you can see how far away it is. So for me, I'm kind of busy through probably even July is going to be touch and go because in July it's hard to there's not as many races because it gets so hot.
Yeah.
But I want to get the eastern states. And I think I was sending you stuff, I don't know, a month or so ago. It's like, hey, how do you feel about doing a double this fall? And I found a couple that were 2 states that I haven't done in 2 days. So I was like, that would, 13, 14-hour drive. You hit 2 states.
Makes it a lot more worth the drive.
Right. And then as far as cost, too, because you can kind of double up.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be game if I was training.
Trying to find a way to get you to run.
I know. No,
I should have came over this morning.
Yeah. I mean, what did you end up running? 14?
14.
Yeah, I don't know if I have 14. Nicole did 10. I mean, I could have ran maybe like a couple with you guys.
You did a half with 0 training. You would have been fine.
I know. But anyway, yeah, so races between now and the end of June, there are no shortage. Get out, and this is one of those things where it's like something that Clint told me, and I agree. When you put down the cash, you sign up for a race, the likelihood that you're going to follow through with training and things like that increases tremendously. So if you have like a 20% chance that you're going to get out and do your training, maybe a 10% chance. If I was signed up for a race, if I was doing all these races that you're doing this year, I would be in a different situation.
Well, I'm hoping to use, at this point, Glass City to help me with Bayshore.
To get you ready?
Well, not really. I guess because what's funny is I got Glass City I'll roll into, I won't do any long runs other than races after that. So I will go to Riverbank. That'll be a short run, which is 25K, and then I'll jump the next week or the week after. I can't remember how it spans out, and I'll have Armed Services. Week after that, I'll have Bayshore.
I mean, the nice thing is Armed. Oh, those are 3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks. There might be a down week in between 2 of the races. Okay. I can't remember which ones, but and then I got a month from Bayshore to Charlevoix, so I'll have to get some longer runs in there. And then it's a week between Charlevoix and
or what is it?
Montana, Missoula.
Missoula, yeah.
Yeah. Because then you don't really have to, train anymore.
But the nice thing is your fifth, third, my goodness, Amway Riverbank run and Armed Services are no pressure.
Yeah.
Those are ones that you can literally just
The only thing I worry about with Riverbank Run is if I get put on a
Quicker
team that wants to kill it, and I'll have to make sure I get a hold of Terrence and say, don't let them guys kill me. Put me with some people that don't want to go fast.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But yeah, at least those two you should be able to relax, use them as training runs, and prepare for the next 2, 3 coming up right after.
Right.
But yeah, those are again just touching on. Now is the time to get signed up for a race.
Yeah.
There's no shortage. I'm kind of bummed I will not be doing Kalamazoo this year because I've done it every year that they've had the marathon.
And they moved it up. It's the same day as Glass City now.
Yeah, which is a bummer.
Because typically I would have done both. I would have done Glass City and then
the next week did Kalamazoo.
It was a couple of weeks between.
Yeah, I guess it was a week or two. It wasn't the next week, was it?
No, it was early. So I think it was like the week before Riverbank. So I would get that in and then I'd do Riverbank and then Bayshore.
Yeah, I don't remember how that went. But anyway, I am kind of bummed about missing that this year just because of having done it every year that they've had the marathon. And then finally, they took a couple of years off there, and now the marathon is back. But, and if you haven't ran that race when it was on, it is a really good race. I enjoy the course as well. And again, I don't know if it's the same course.
I think the start and finish line are at a different place.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they have the same sponsors.
No, they don't. Yep.
So and somebody else must have taken it over is my assumption.
Yeah. I can't think of the name of it.
I mean, as with a lot of races that I search on, COVID took out a lot of races.
Yeah, it changed.
It really definitely hurt Kalamazoo. But there's other ones that I looked at too that I've been searching on and looking at. Like there was one in Hawaii that I was kind of watching.
Ziegler,
website has not changed since for 2 years. So it kind of says to me that one's probably done.
Ziegler is the one that took over Kalamazoo. So.
Okay.
But yeah, so it is officially race season. It is starting. And yeah, let's talk about maybe a couple of the ones we know. Like right now, when this comes out, this isn't going to be applicable for you to run this year, but Carmel, you've ran that.
Yeah, I've run it twice, I think. I did it as a double. So I did, that was my first double as I ran Carmel and then I ran Glass City the next day. So that sometimes they line up where they'll be, or they have, where they're the same. I think that's what was and then I've done, it seems like I did Martian and then Glass City the next day.
And Martian's that is actually a fun one. I'd not done it.
They have a good ugly shirt too.
Oh my goodness! I just, yeah. I'm trying to think. Mine wasn't too bad.
You've run Martian?
Yeah, I ran it with Brian 2 years ago.
It used to be worse. I've seen shirts that people had before I actually ran it that were not great.
Brian and I did Martian. Oh, that's right. That's when we did Martian on Saturday and Calhaven on Sunday.
Okay.
2 years ago. Yep.
Oh, that's right. Because I didn't do it because I wasn't feeling up to it.
Yeah. Where were you?
I think I was hurt.
Oh, were you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Seems to be happening a lot.
My, how times change. 2 years ago where I was and now where I am today. And even mentally, just like not having the motivation to get out there right now. But I think this is all just part of the rebuilding process for me.
Yeah, so that's what I started look. I look once in a while and I have a spreadsheet that I try to keep track of stuff, and then I have a map that shows everywhere I've run, and Georgia and Alabama are right next to each other, and I keep looking at that, like trying to line up a double there, not finding anything. So Alabama, like, I don't think they have any races because it gets so hot until this fall.
Till later.
And then that's the one where I was lined up. We had a place to stay, and they canceled it the morning of because of storms.
So you still haven't gotten?
I still don't have Alabama. Wow. We were all the way there, ready to run, and didn't get to run.
They do have a couple. Huntsville.
Yeah, that's the one. But that's
yeah.
in December. Is that?
Yeah, they have Rocket City.
That's the one we lined up for, and I've always heard that the weather is iffy in December.
They have a Wade Mountain Marathon in October.
Sounds hilly.
Sounds hilly. They also have Birmingham in October.
So that's a possibility.
Yeah. They have one at Beach, which is in January.
But it's a long ways. It's all the way down to the coast.
That's all the way, yeah.
That's like you have to fly. I mean,
You drove to Huntsville.
We did.
Yeah, and Birmingham's still another probably hour.
Yeah.
South.
It's starting to get on the edge of how far I want to drive. And the same thing, like when I look at Georgia, it's like there's some, and that's what I like about that website is that you can click and say, is it worth driving or not? And looking at
just seeing the distance.
You can put the location on it and then click and do a map, Google map to it, and you can see exactly how long your drive is.
Yeah, so go check out, what is it?
Running in the USA?
Runningintheusa.com. Yeah, I had Marathon Guide up as well, which is that's another popular one to search. But yeah, that map version of Running in the USA is a great way to, find a destination race, find one close, set your location, and scroll around on the map. I'm sitting here doing it right now, and
I still need like Idaho and New Mexico, and I was trying to figure out how to be creative for that because I thought about New Mexico wasn't far. It's like if my youngest were doing a trip with her, or just me and her, and I was looking at just going to Colorado, and I was like, well, I wonder if I could fit a race into that. A little selfish, but. I'm not doing that. We're going to Arizona, and I'm not doing a race, and I have Arizona anyway. So it's just going to be a trip and where we're going to hike.
When is the last time you took a trip and didn't do a race?
When I went to California, I just hiked.
Wow. Well, yeah, but you did an event.
It was a bucket list thing, but it wasn't. There was no race involved at all. It was just.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking like you will almost always figure out a way to get a race in.
Yeah. That's how I decide.
Yeah,
kind of where I want to go. Yeah, and then my wife is good with it, and she says the race is one day.
Yeah, and you get to visit places you probably wouldn't go.
Right.
I mean, without that, why would you go to? I don't know.
Kansas
is
a good one, and we got out of it what we wanted to get out of it.
And I don't mean it because like. Yeah, Kansas is so bad. I'm just saying there's so many other places you can go on a quote-unquote vacation for the family.
Right. A lot of people don't look at, like, even Nebraska. As a destination place. Or Missouri. We've been to Missouri a few times. Missouri's beautiful.
But
we've actually vacationed there.
For what? For where?
Went with Clint. We went to Big Cedar.
Oh, yeah. I guess there are some
places. Because the Ozarks are beautiful.
Yeah, yep.
So it is kind of a destination place, but like Nebraska,
but and then compared to like an Arizona or a Colorado or California or Oregon or Utah or Washington State and all these other places, Kansas doesn't pop up very quick.
And Nebraska is the same way, but where we did a race, it was actually in Scotts Bluff, and it was kind of the corner of Nebraska, and it was kind of a beautiful area. There were so many fires that it made the air quality kind of stink for running. But
gotcha.
And I don't.
Yeah, that's a good way to force yourself to visit places that you potentially wouldn't.
Right.
And you find out, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah, it was a beautiful area.
Yeah. So go check out one of those websites. Sign yourself up for something, or sign yourself up for something local. There's a lot of local races right now.
Yeah.
I say we. You are doing several, but that's a minor number compared to what's even still going on.
Oh, yeah.
You look at the east side, you look at the northern part of Michigan, or even the UP. Although the UP doesn't have a ton.
No, not a ton.
Marquette has one in the fall.
There's a few in Marquette. There's a marathon and that 50-miler.
Yeah, but those are in the fall. I'm saying like right now, I don't think.
too cold. I think
It is
you'd be
still,
risking.
it still is a little chilly, isn't it? But yeah, we just wanted to kind of recognize that it's race season. Like race season's on. There are tons of places. Go to Ultra Runner Marathon, has a great list of trail
Or Ultra Sign Up.
series, or Ultra Sign Up is another one.
Yeah.
And what I like about Ultra Runner, I think it is Ultra Runner. I'm signed up for their like emailing list.
Mm-hmm.
Love it that they send this list out of, hey, here's all the trail marathons this week or next week or this month. I'd love to do one. It's just need to train for one, but
gotta run.
But it is time. We are well into. You should be trained up, and if you're not, you still have time.
Right.
There's even in like we stopped at the end of June, but I did quickly see like July and every month there's something.
Well, like I say, Bayshore is like one of my favorites because it's in Traverse City. Make a weekend of it, but it's Memorial Weekend. I could see where people would be more hesitant because it's busy and it can be expensive that weekend.
Yeah. Like Charlevoix is the same way.
Charlevoix, it's not busy, but there's not a lot of places to stay,
which makes it expensive.
And it does make it expensive. We camp.
Man, the rate, I don't know what. Well, yeah, if you do it your way, it's not bad.
Right. There's a way, but you're gonna if you want to stay right in town, it's expensive. You're gonna have to stay outside of town somewhere to actually do that one. Yeah.
But yeah, I would encourage people to go check it out. Check out a race, find a race, get signed up, and then I did want to just mention, like, I'm not ready for armed services. We talked about this a little bit before. So what I might end up doing, because I don't want to not do anything. Like, I want to get involved. So I might just volunteer. I might volunteer and, I don't know, help at an aid station, help at registration, do something.
I did sign up to volunteer at the finish, or hopefully at the finish line as She Runs. And that's coming up too. So that's at the end of this month. So it's the week after. April. It's the week after Glass City, and it's on a Sunday as well.
Serving wine again.
That's what I'm hoping to do, but they didn't have the wine list sign up, so I don't know. I might get stuck somewhere else. We'll see. But
yeah, get signed up for a race. Get signed up to volunteer. Come join us at Armed Services. That'll be a fun one. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. I might volunteer. Maybe I'll volunteer at like somewhere in the finish line area, like in the finish area, or a aid station, and just come to the finish area. I think it'll be a really fun experience. And is this the first year they're doing that or second year?
I don't know. It might
remember what he said.
It might even be the third.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that's all. We just kind of wanted to touch on the fact that this is race season. We are going to be busy. We are going to be doing, Mitch is going to be doing a lot. I'm going to get my butt in gear and start getting out there to Summit. But we're looking forward to seeing people out there and just engaging with those that do listen to the podcast. And hopefully we've got this in the background or that we've been tossing around the whole race thing that we're potentially putting on, and we've tossed around some ideas. But man, after talking to Terrence, I don't know if we can get it in this year,
right?
Because I would want it to be in the fall.
I think that
we're getting up against the wire right now.
Yeah, and I think that we just people have been kind of out, but there's a few friends that I want to see if we can set up a meeting. And just set up and sit around and talk about it and see if it's even something that we can do this year.
Yeah, and maybe we can do something small.
And if we did it, it would be small.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, wouldn't probably push it to be anything major, but just kind of do it and see how it goes and then make some adjustments. But we do have a very fun idea in mind for what we are planning.
But we'll wait to really, if we have it happen, we'll lay it out at that point.
Yeah, it is going to be different. Now, there is not another race around in this area, and actually, I don't even know the one that was mentioned to us. I'm not even gonna say that because I want to keep it like very low key right now. But I don't even think that one is going anymore.
Oh wow!
Nope, I looked it up and
it's
all old. Well, I think
COVID killed it.
COVID killed it. I think. Yeah. I think it was still going up until then, and it's not gone. So I don't even know, and I'm talking the entire eastern half of the United States. I can't find one like it. So if we can pull it off yet this year, I think it would be really fun. And it's different. I like that it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It has similarities to certain type of events right now that happen, and even those are not very prevalent. Like you got to search, and there's only a few. Not like the hundreds of marathons that you can go run. So yeah, this will be it will be an ultra distance. We'll say that. It'll be an ultra type distance, but it is going to be very different from anything that's around right now. So little teaser there, and hoping that we can do something. But if not, we're going to make sure that we do it right the next year. But hoping maybe we could do something small this year. But
yeah, it's weird. This year's another weird year for me with trying to plan stuff out.
You have another graduation.
Yep, youngest graduating, stuff like that. Just trying to be present in that kind of stuff this year. So,
and then we can go crazy next year.
Maybe.
No more graduations to deal with. But yeah, so get out there, sign up for a race, watch for some more little hints or possibly something from a race that we might be doing.
Right.
And
we'll announce it if we get something going.
For sure. Yeah, we'll officially announce it.
What I want to see is people got to start posting pictures on this of their ugliest race shirt, because I want to see.
Can you beat this ugly race shirt?
Can you beat the big obnoxious 26.2 on that shirt on that one?
I'll post this within the comment section of this podcast. And if you have a race shirt that beats, if you have what you would consider an ugly race shirt, post it. Yeah. And we're not going to do a competition, but we'll let those that are
bragging rights
talk about which one's worse. I don't know if any can beat Glass City.
I think I've got a couple that are pretty close.
Yeah, I'll have to look for that one that I found, but this one will definitely get posted. I think that one's fine, but we can post it. But yeah, that's all we have this week. Get out there, run, get signed up for a race. Go out there and enjoy it.
Yeah. And at the same time, if you find something cool and you want to sign me up too,
do that too.
Yeah.
Get Mitch signed up for another state. You gotta find out what state he needs, and then we did put that in a podcast a while ago. I listed all the states you needed. Yeah. So, but yeah, sign up for a race. That's what this is about. We just wanted to encourage people to get out there, enjoy the events, and support them. If you're not ready, like I'm not, volunteer. Get signed up to volunteer and help out. And sign up for one in the fall or later, a month or two later than June. So so check us out on Facebook, check us out on YouTube, subscribe there, share it. Again, keep saying this, but we do have stuff coming that we'll be putting on there, a little bit different than the podcast style. And so that way when we do post that, you'll see that. And with that, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of the I Don't Know Running podcast. Be sure to tune in next time as we share more about what we just don't know.
Until then, happy running.